Talk Radio. You're in to all things music.
Welcome to Sharpen the Axe. Explore the bleeding edge of guitar and bass gear. Discover a sound uniquely your own and cut through the noise. With your hosts, Eric Lucero and Paul Berezetsky.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Eric Lucero
And Paul Berezetsky.
of Sharpen the Axe on Talk Radio, powered by Pitbull Audio. How's it going, Paul?
Pretty good. Been waiting for this day for a while.
Yeah, I tossed this idea to the guys a bit ago. We've been waiting on it. We've had some other stuff in between, like the Tunemaster clinic.
That was super rad.
Really awesome. Yeah, he's a really rad dude, down-to-earth guy, and I mean, what a clinic if you get to learn everything about those Fishman Fluence pickups with that, pretty much.
The Fluence pickups were definitely an eye-opener for me and probably a lot of people at that clinic. If you guys missed it, you could go find the video. It should be up on Pitbull Audio's YouTube page.
Music Store Live's YouTube page, actually.
Oh, right.
But also, I believe you can find it through Talk Radio's Facebook page. You can find the feed and watch it again. But it was a really awesome event. It was held at Pitbull Audio. And
so during this event, I heard like 4 or 5 people, including one of our team members, Cedric, just exclaiming, "Oh, that's it! I quit."
Is that stressful?
No,
Or
just
what do you mean,
like all the guitar players watching Tosin do this like, they're just that's it. I'm done. Why do I bother?
Yeah, Tosin Abasi is definitely one of those players that is just absolutely bonkers talented. I mean, he's known for that, thumping, the sort of slap guitar style, and watching him up close, it's just such little minute movements seemingly to get all that technique.
Makes it look so easy.
Yeah, right, yeah, it's insane. Plus that I'm not really much of a 7 or 8 string player guy, but that Ibanez signature that should be coming around this year, I'd hope, looks awesome. It was really cool to hear that live.
Yeah.
And another gear thing from that night was he was playing through Morgan amps, which I believe we will be carrying soon. They are a great company. They the reason Tosin was playing that one was because it was just clean power, and that's what they're known for. A lot of country guys play them. Mm-hmm. So that was a cool little preview.
No nonsense, like simple Class A amp. It looked like just like volume gain, maybe a sub-EQ in it.
Yeah, and it's
not even a gain. I think it was just like a straight volume.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I took a picture of it. I'll post it up on the Sharpen the Axe Facebook page. But yeah, I love clean power amps, and that was definitely one.
Yeah.
And he sounded killer through it. But we got plenty of toys to play with today. We have a full-on pedal board here that was furnished to us at Pitbull Audio by T-Rex, and it is the pedal board, power supply, the pedals, all theirs, and it looks like here even the patch cables here, except for this George L one here, are all T-Rex. So I was a little bit surprised when they dropped this thing off, just how much they. I didn't know they really made this much or had this much variety of pedals.
Yeah.
But plenty of great stuff.
This has been a big hit over at your store. Every time I walk in there, someone's going off on this thing, and half the time it's me.
Yeah. Yeah, every time you come by, I do notice you're messing with it a whole bunch.
Well, T-Rex is one of my favorite. I really don't have a lot of experience owning boutique stuff. Most of my stuff is fairly basic, like bar gig kind of stuff, but my go-to pedal on my board is a T-Rex Crunchy Frog, which is an overdrive. Yeah. I don't know if it's just an inexpensive pedal to begin with, because these are not on the cheaper side, but that one, I think I found it at an outlet or something where it was like $60 or something.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, nice. That's a steal right there, yeah. And I don't believe they make that one anymore, actually. I might be wrong on that.
And it's one of my favorite pedals on my board, because you do a gig and one night, one pedal will sound one way, another night it'll sound a different way depending on where you are, and sometimes and that one you could always count on it just to cut through to give you like perfect tone. I get complimented on tone all the time, and I think primarily it's because of that one. So I love T-Rex stuff, and messing around with this one, there's definitely a couple on here that really got my heartstrings thumping.
Yeah, and it's only really recently, maybe in the last 10 years, they're starting to get more known. They've been around a while. I forgot how long, but Lars started this in Finland. I don't remember when they started, but they've been around a while. They have quite a variety, and they make some amazing products like the Replicator, which is actual tape cartridge echo. We don't have any at Pitbull Audio at the moment, but that's a cool thing available from them. But
I think your story needs a little, just some mood music.
I think so.
It all started in Finland.
It's Finnish jazz over it. I like it. But let's dive on into it.
Yeah, let's hear some of this.
So we're going to go in the chain that they laid out here, and we're starting with the Shafter wah. It's a pretty neat wah right here.
We're getting nasty right off the bat. Huh?
Right off the bat.
Right.
I know you're the fun guy, so I'm going to let you have fun with this one. Also logistics, because I'm closer to it. But goes for $199. It is a 3-mode wah with boost and slope controls, the slope being kind of the width of the filter effect. And the 3 wah voices. Wah 1 is kind of a cleaner sort of wah, good for rhythm work and clean guitar.
More like a Voxy kind of sound, maybe?
I could still hear a crybaby, perhaps. It's up to opinion. I'm not much of a wah guy to begin with, so my experiences are really just limited, to the Vox wah, an Ibanez 1, and the Dunlop crybabies.
Yeah.
Wah 2 is that one I'll call very Dunlop-like because it kind of has that Kirk Hammett, very present, super there wah. And then the last one is Yoy-Yoy. Y-O-Y, Y-O-Y.
It's a talky sounding one where it's kind of like...
Yeah, it is a dual filter that does have that kind of talking sound. So let's... Oh, and one other feature. It has the... what do they call it? The hotspot, which gives you a little bit more pedal to play with, kind of lowers the sensitivity. So let's turn it on and start with the wah 1. Wah 2. Now the Yoy-Yoy.
This one's got a lot of character to it.
Yeah, I still haven't made up my mind about like what I would do with the Yoy-Yoy. Maybe I want to try with some distortion after this, but it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I think on this one I like the slower kind of action on it, where it's almost like an expression kind of thing rather than like a quick waka waka.
Rather than those funk thing, all right?
Yeah.
Let's give it a try with the slope up and see what it sounds like. So yeah, kind of almost that roboty sort of sound on that. Let's at least try that more present one again with some distortion on it.
Sure.
I want to get all Kirk Hammett on it.
Kirk Hammett, huh?
Yeah, that's what I think of, yeah.
Yeah. Ready?
Well, it's definitely a very expressive wah, a classic sound to it. I mean, it sounds like a good wah to me. Again, I don't have that much experience, so what's your opinion with it?
I dig it. I tend to kind of lean towards the crybaby side of things for a while. Like I like that it's got like this nastiness that comes
And that
out.
snarl in it.
Yeah, that snarl, and I really miss that from other types. I had a Moller for a while where I couldn't get that nastiness out.
Yeah.
I never owned a Vox, I don't think, but I played around with them, and they're really good for, I think, more like a just clean, controlled kind of like even funk. But again, it was missing that like nastiness that the crybaby. So I kind of need to have that in a wah. But it's really good to have kind of like a bunch of them all in one.
Right, yeah, and for just under $200, $199, this is not a bad deal at
all.
all.
Not bad.
Another essential thing on the pedal board is right after it, and I mean, you use a pedal tuner, right? Your boss?
Nope. I've switched to the clip-on ones.
Oh, really? All
Yeah.
clip-on?
Yep.
No? Well, you got a good option right here with the Tunemaster from T-Rex, $99. What's cool about this is you can run it in buffered like we have now, or in unbuffered mode, true bypass. But another thing I thought was pretty neat was, actually check this out, just keep on hitting it.
Adds a little boost to it, huh?
Yeah, this I didn't know this was on it. But yeah, it has this beef
nifty.
pot right here, so you kind of can put a boost in there, which is a nice feature. You don't have to buy a separate boost pedal. Just
Can't do that
drive
with
it a
my
little.
clip-on tuners.
Yep, yeah. So here you go, $99 easily spent. You can run it buffered if you need to, or true bypass.
And the tuner we were just tuning out before the show is very responsive, quick
Yeah.
and easy.
We can go in right here, just like if I was going to go drop D. If I could get accurate with the tuner for once. There we
There you
are.
go.
And on back up. And right back in action.
Nice.
Now, are you much of a compressor user at all, or?
You know what? I need to get one. I had the Boss one, the standard one was a
CS?
Yeah. I kind of couldn't get too into it. I have another one that I have. There's a guy around here that modifies old DoD pedals that made one for me.
Oh, rad.
Not for me, he just made it and I got it from him. I've been using it a little bit, but also not exactly happy with it. I get away with it because, so right now we're going through my Mesa Boogie F50 amp, and it just has really tight, punchy cleans and a lot of natural compression, so I could get away without using one for the most part.
So you haven't exactly needed one, at least your recent playing.
I haven't needed one, but I've been thinking about picking one up.
Well, we got a nice option right here. This is the Neo Comp from T-Rex. It is based on a Blackmer VCA, a voltage-controlled amplifier limiter compressor. We got controls for gain, compression, and this will go up to a 9:1 ratio, and attack and release controls. So simple as hell, just an easy 4-knob compressor. So this is uncompressed.
That's a nice combo, yeah, with
Right?
a wah, kind of gets the wah a little bit under control.
Yeah, and it makes you pop. It makes the attack that is being filtered pop out a little more. It becomes much more articulate, and you're going to cut above the crowd. And I mean,
And just on clean, that's really, really nice and greasy and funky. I like it.
right? And I can see why a lot of the country players like going for the compressor sort of sound. It's if you want to just really snap and go up front, it is definitely a great tool to have around.
That's a nice one.
And it's
sure.
I believe it's only like $179. Check my hidden notes real quick. Yeah, $179 for a solid as hell compressor. I kind of miss having one. I was using a Walrus Audio Deep 6, which is another great compressor, and I just let it go because it wasn't working. But I tried one of these before on bass as well, and yeah, to really stand out and punch, the Neo Comp is very solid. And I like that you have the attack and release controls, and it'd be nice if they kind of had, where 1 1 1 1 2 1 3 1, etc. all the way is
like clickable kind of preset,
or at least on the
at
silkscreen
least
DOM.
so
but,
you know what. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a nice thing here. You just dial it to where you need it to be. How much you want to swash it. Let's try with you playing. Let's throw in a Vulture to go show how a Neo Comp affects distortion. This is without the Neo Comp. So, I mean, it definitely fattens up the sound, and you get a thicker tone, excuse me, out of it.
Brings out more of the attack.
Yeah, a little bit. Did you ever notice a difference when you were gigging with a comp on your distortion or not? On your drive?
I try to stay away from comp and distortion. Usually with distortion, I want a little bit more dynamics where I can dig in more or less and kind of control it that way. I actually distort it. I don't like it leveled out too much, but I use it mostly for cleans.
Right on. Yeah, it seems to be the common way to do it. But it's available there if you ever need one. Now, next up in the chain is the Quint machine, which is one of the more popular ones in the store. It is
This is a fun one.
Divider, yeah.
We can't spend 45 minutes on it, though we might want to.
Tempting as it is, yeah.
This thing is a time sucker. This can take you down a rabbit hole for a long time.
Especially once you start throwing it in with other effects.
That's right.
It's a great one. But just for simple controls, the mix for dry to wet, and each of these here is a mix-in knob for a fifth above harmony, octave above, and octave below. And yeah, it's proven probably one of the, if not the most popular T-Rex pedals that we carry. So this is just bypass, and then adding in the fifth. So it is polyphonic too, and tracks really well.
Yeah, this is
well.
the thing I noticed about this right away is they're octaves, but they don't screw up your chords.
Yeah, exactly. It still comes pretty articulate. If you want to get a little alien jazzy or something like that, but you can thicken up the sound even more. I'll turn that off. Nice, right?
That sounded like an organ almost.
Right? A little bit. It has a little bit of that feel. Wow, I wish I knew any more organ song.
I can't remember it.
We're going to do the Mario theme?
No,
No?
I was going to try and do Take a Walk on Life.
I don't know if I know that one.
Dire Straits.
Oh.
I can't remember it.
Nope.
I forget it.
So how about we throw in one of the distortions or drives? I'll let you choose and see how that blends in.
Well, I don't want to jump the gun here, but out of the drives, this thing has completely stolen my heart. It's
Oh, the
like-
Mudhoney?
Yeah. I'm gonna go for that. I love this pedal so much. I spent like hours at Pivotal Audio just actually with this combination, the Quint and the Mudhoney too are just phenomenal together. Warble.
But yeah, that is a real neat little pedal you wouldn't have expected, and for just being fixed what it is, just that octave above, below, and that fifth. But especially that fifth becomes fun when you just want to riff real quick and sound like you have two guitars. But yeah, the just that weirdness of the fifth alone, making everything a power chord, making everything sound like a quick riff, is alone worth it. And I think it blends in just well enough that it doesn't overtake anything. You can still make it musical and stick it in places, or make it synthy if you want.
Yep. I like to use an octave on some songs where it's just not much guitar going on. There's like a little melody that you have to do for like 4 minutes straight.
Yeah.
And it just gets boring, and this is how I get entertain myself, is just throw an octave on it, and then it gives it a lot of attitude and kind of.
True. Yeah. And you guess has something to do on stage to play along on synthy songs or something like that.
Exactly.
Now we have 5 drives on here from T-Rex. We're going to go with the first one. This is the Diva drive. It has a gain, level, tone, and mix. And what I like about this one is that you can blend in your clean tone with the mix in there. And it's got 3 voices on the side here, a mini switch for mid, normal, and fat. So yeah, let's give it a shot there. definitely a very warm-sounding drive, and that's just on the normal on the side switch there. But pretty neat with that. Yeah, how about you play, and I'll blend in the clean tone. So it's been a popular thing with bass distortion and overdrive pedals to blend in your clean tones, so you retain some low end. And I'm really stoked to see it being used on guitar pedals now. It's on the Moller here as well.
It's actually on my T-Rex Crunchy Frog also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, so Finland has been at it for a while, I guess, with their pedal production. It seems like only U.S. makers are starting to catch up recently, but it is definitely a really cool feature. Let's try some of the other modes on here. So we have it here at normal. Now let's hear the mid.
Oh, is that on the side? There's a switch?
Yeah, it's a little mini switch on the side.
Brain farting really.
It's all good. Now let's switch to the fat setting. Oh, all right. That's the end of that. We'll be back in just a minute to check out the rest of this cool pedal board.
I'll mangle more classic rock favorites when we come back. This is Sharpen the Axe on Enter Talk Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Hey, it's Tracy Smith
and Beth Venus
of Girls Talk Rock right here on the Intertalk Radio Network.
Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, Beth, they know that, but we want you to know that the industry pro's choice is Silver Tiger Production.
STP is a full-service production agency offering sound, lighting, installations, talent buying, staffing, backline equipment rental, and sales. Kapow!
It's everything in the entertainment performance industry. It's all that. SilverTigerProduction.com.
Welcome to Sharpen the Axe. Explore the bleeding edge of guitar and bass gear. Discover a sound uniquely your own and cut through the noise. With your hosts, Eric Lucero and Paul Berezetsky.
Hey guys, welcome back. We got the second half of this pedal board to look at. We left off with the Diva, and now we are up to the Vulture Distortion, which is a nice feature-packed pedal. It has gain, level, and tone controls, and also features 2 mini pots that are fat boost and low boost. The low boost actually kind of makes it sound like it's going through a 4x12 in sort of a false way, but let's give it a shot here.
What's the difference between the low boost and the fat? Is the fat more? Is this more like low and this is low mid kind of?
It doesn't really specify too well. It's the low boost. It really is, again, that sort of 4x12 kind of tight bass response thing, and the fat boost it just has made it stand out more, almost like a punch thing. The way that at least I've been hearing it, but yeah, it's another neat distortion pedal that they got around at least. Let's hear it on that Les Paul there. So what are your thoughts on this as a distortion? Is it something that would land on your board and replace the Crunchy Frog, or?
Maybe as a distortion, maybe. The Crunchy Frog is a little bit bluesier overdrive, which is kind of what I tend to go for. But for some of the heavier rocky stuff, sure, it's pretty cool. A little more modern sounding than.
Yeah, it doesn't quite cut like say the Nitros, which is next, does, but it has a sort of weird like mid-range to it. It's not really like high and articulate, but it's still pretty nice for like rhythm players. I would suggest it too.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah. Well, doing the kind of chord or arpeggiated stuff.
Works well with that. Let's give it a shot. Next, compare it with the Nitros Hypergain, which is a really contemporary high gain. That is a active 3-band EQ on it and gain and level controls.
This one has some nice harmonics to it.
Yeah, and this one is a lead player kind of distortion, and it is.
I guess this one seems like it's kind of halfway in between these two as far as heaviness.
Yeah, that is a good way to place it, and it makes sense the way they place it on the board now. But yeah, the Vulture sits right in between. It is. You said it was kind of modern. I kind of think of it as a kind of like classic rock sort of higher gain territory, where the Nitros is on that sort of gent, sort of really modern.
More modern,
thing.
I guess, kind of as you go down the line. Maybe.
Yeah, sort of, yeah, until we get back to the bluesy drive of the Moller, which is next. But let's hear a little bit more of that Nitros right there. Yeah, it does do that sustaining for everything really well.
Crank up the mids here. I can't see where 12 is. This around there.
Yeah, those little tiny knobs are a bit difficult sometimes.
If you want to get really nasal with it,
Yeah,
crank that
right.
mid right up. Oh, there we go.
Wow. Yeah, that thing
It's
definitely has output on it and gain for days. I really wish I'd try that on bass. Like, that seems like it would cut well for a bass distortion as well.
Yeah, I like that one.
I kind of wish that one had the mix control like the Diva and the Moller a little bit. Just have that articulation underneath it would be pretty neat. Now, next in line is the Moller 2 drive. It's a signature model for an artist. I think I'm pronouncing this right. Moller, Knud. Don't know much about him. Did not get a chance, but has tone control, level, gain, mix, a boost. This will give you up to 20 decibels of boost, and it has its own dedicated switch. And there's a mini switch for bass boost or normal operation. Let's check it out here. Clean tone.
That's not a clean boost. I thought it was going to be like
I think you can use it as a clean boost.
that breaks up.
Yeah, that does, yeah. It might be pushing your amp a little bit at that level, where back here it's a bit more clean. Kind of still dirty. So what are your thoughts on the Moller with that clean mix coming in and that fat boost?
I like it. With just a drive, I think it's really good for rhythm work, kind of like a Rolling Stones-y kind of classic rock drive. And once you hit that boost, that's a really nice bluesy lead.
Right.
Right in my wheelhouse.
And
I like it.
that's how I always heard this pedal described, is that a sort of flexible bluesy drive unit, and it definitely fits that. And this one, I was really stoked to see it come in again because I was looking at the clean mix stuff.
This is probably the closest one out of all these to the Crunchy Frog. Maybe kind of.
It's a cousin of sorts here.
Yeah, maybe a later iteration of it.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, it does really work well for that the rhythm drive stuff. It's very even response. A very, very neat pedal for sure. Now, the next one in line is one of your favorites. So tell me about what your thoughts when you first tried the Mudhoney 2 here.
Well, it's basically the name kind of says what it is. It's Mudhoney. It's dirty, but it's really sugary, sweet, and sticky goodness. And you guys had it running through the
It was through the Vox or the Fender?
No.
Or the Earthquaker?
The
maybe?
Earthquaker devices.
It was going through it?
Yeah,
Okay,
and that combo was just freaking killer.
Nice.
Just the way that amp was voiced and this pedal together was
just heaven for you?
just heaven, yeah.
Now to explain it real quick, it is each side is the same. We have a level control, a gain, tone, and on each side there is a normal or a bass boost switch there, or just boost. But you can set them for two different ones. They're identical on either side. So let's give it a shot
So
here.
you could have two versions of it in one pedal.
You can't stack them though. Which
No, not
kinda
stack them,
sucks,
but the
I
same
wish you
kind of
could.
like tonality. Basically you could like having two of these.
Yeah, having your channel A, channel B is sort of a
Yeah,
brain.
yeah, exactly.
So let's hear your clean.
And this is the kind of thing that this pedal makes me want to play, just like.
Nice. Yeah, in a whole nother room, we can still get feedback, but yeah, it is. It's been it was one of the first pedals we got at Pitbull Audio from T-Rex, and we kept trying it out. Every new employee would pick it out of the case on the wall and give it a shot, and such as yourself, everyone loved it. It is just really awesome.
It's just one of those pedals that's got some kind of special sauce to it that just, I don't know, makes you just gets creative juices flowing and just makes you. I don't know, just squeezes something out of you where you're not just messing around. It like you're really interacting with the tone and the sound.
And it makes you shape your playing towards one way or another. You wanted sort of a higher gain blues, you can shape it that way. You want something very front and lead like you were just playing, you can shape it that way, or go between them. Same circuit, just two different sides, exact same thing, and just having your having on and cut through. Yeah, that way it can just cut through. That tone control is just amazing. Or you can voice, like we said, voice it nice and bluesy. Next up in line is the Reptile 2. Now, before you had tried on this pedal board, were you familiar with any of their delays?
No.
So they have made a name for themselves with the Replicator Junior, and those tape ones I was talking about earlier. But this has been one of their bigger sellers. It is a analog simulating delay of the Reptile 2. You've got echo up there, which is the mix, your repeat, time, and level controls. You have tap tempo, which is awesome. On the side here, you have your input gain. But in the middle here, you have your wow and flutter controls, so you can control the that aging sound on a tape echo. You got speed, width, and tone controls. Let's see. There's a nice, rich-sounding delay. Have you messed around with this one when you've been messing with the board much?
I went through it. Whatever settings were on there, I kind of just left it. I didn't tweak it too much, but I liked it.
Yeah. So one thing I noticed about this pedal when I messed with it is that you cannot make this thing oscillate. So it has the cap. It won't let it run away like a lot of the delays I like do. It's kind of cool.
This isn't our noise gate that we have on it, right?
No. So we have the noise gate at the very end just for some cable noise, just really low. But what's kind of cool is because it doesn't run away, you can kind of get some weird sounds out of it. Combined with this. Get very atmospheric on it. It does work well for that still, despite not having, you know, the super long trails, but
Trippy pedal.
yeah, right? Especially with those flutter controls, you can make it waver all you want. Now, last in line there. Oh, is something else you wanted to check out on it?
Well, let's do that one, then we'll come around and maybe do a couple of different combos
Absolutely.
if we have time.
Yes. So the creamer at the end there is their reverb pedal, which you got controls for reverb level, decay, and tone, and you have the switch for the 3 different kinds. You got a room, spring, and hall, a very easy to script reverb pedal.
Let's hear it.
It's right in the spring there in the middle, right?
Yes. Oh, you're a cowboy.
On the
Or a
range.
surfer or something.
But it's a nice, a pretty good sounding spring there. I'm also out of tune now.
Nah. Take that puppy on.
I know, right? So, I mean, while we can demo a tuner, might as well, right?
Yeah. Real world situation. That's it. Next song's coming up. No time for that A string.
We'd like to thank the openers. We'd like to thank the venue for hosting us.
You gotta
Tip your
jump in.
bartender.
Got to jump right into 867-5309.
try some of the other reverbs there.
Room. Let's see, room. So let's. Classy reverb,
right? And it's not overwhelming. It doesn't do all the shimmer or other modulated reverbs. Which, I mean, if you're not looking for that and just want something that has some options that are close to like something you'd find in a studio plugins, this is a great one for that.
Straightforward, but really great sounding, and it's.
Brighten up the reverb a little up on tone, see what it sounds like.
And that's on Hall.
You want some easy atmosphere?
Yeah, very useful, very kind of straightforward, but very useful reverb.
Another great one from T-Rex. Any combos come to mind that
popped
out to you aside from the Quint and Mudhoney?
Well, I'm always happy with a nice distortion and a delay.
So let's give it a shot. There we are. Nice, very nice and epic sounding, and that was just the top three right there. The Mudhoney into the Reptile 2, into the Creamer. Now let me try one right here. Actually. Of course, all from the same maker. They play real well
Lizzie
together.
right there.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, I can. But yeah, these T-Rex makes great products. Obviously, the solid pedals that just get you a nice tone that's you can manipulate. You can tune a little the way you want. And also, for that matter, I mean, like as we mentioned at the beginning, they make this pedal board. They make some power supplies. I believe it is a chameleon or fuel tank that's powering it underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that one of their power supplies can power all of this right here. Yeah, check them out. And actually, for the listeners, viewers at home, if you have any questions you want to submit to Lars of T-Rex, let us know. We'll see if we can get him to respond to some of them. But yeah, anything come to mind that you want to ask him? Or try out? Yeah, let's try out more.
Let me try. Did we try the Mudhoney and the Y yet?
No, let's give it a shot. I don't think so.
That.
Add a little bit of that in there.
That's it. What do you got going on there? Sounds like a reverse delay.
It was the, I think it was the Neo comp releasing the signal at the end there.
Oh.
Kind of gave it that little weird fade.
That's cool. That's a cool combo.
Right?
Discovered a little bit of craziness.
And that's something we could do whole streaks of episodes on of pedal combinations and what can be done. That is an endless thing. But for anyone who's been impressed by the devices they've heard tonight, you can always check them out at pitbullaudio.com if you're in the San Diego area. Come on in, say hi, and you can try out this pedal board in our storefront.
They all obviously play together with each other very well.
Yeah.
Throwing. Do you have a preference for octave before or after drives? Generally before, right?
I put them before, yeah.
I do too. It almost gives it like an extra greedy, just like an extra layer of distortion almost.
Exactly, yeah, and I don't want a distorted signal being then split. I want the split signal being distorted afterwards.
Right.
And I even like that they have the comp before, although there is some cool things to be said for putting a compressor after a distortion unit.
There's a lot of kind of diverging opinions on that. That's just you just need to experiment and find out for yourself.
Which we'll get to on another episode, but thank you for joining us. I'm Eric Lucero.
And I'm Paul Berzetsky.
And Sharpen the Axe on Talk Radio, powered by Pitbull Audio. Join us next time.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here.